moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in 8th place in the Central Division. After 18 games, the Preds have a record of 5-10-3, 13 points, has them so far out of first place, I'm not even going to calculate it. I didn't come here to do math. I came here to talk hockey. On the road, which is where the Nashville Predators' next game will take place, it'll be game 4 of the 5-game CMA Get Your Shit Together road trip. 1-4-3 on the season. 41 goals for, 58 goals against. There's a goal differential of -17. Canucks is the next opponent, but we'll first update the Central Division, then we'll update the Preds schedule, and then we'll talk about the Vancouver Canucks and how these two teams will match up. So for the Central Division, I told you it was incalculable, and it is largely. The Winnipeg Jets have 30 points after 17 games played, and they are 17 points ahead of the Nashville Predators. That's right. The Predators are further behind first place than the total number of points that they have on the season this way. Minnesota Wild are in second place in the Central Division at this moment in hockey history with 25 points. Dallas Stars have 20 points in third place. Colorado, fourth place with 18 points. Utah at 17. St. Louis at 15. Chicago at 13. And the Nashville Predators in last place, 8th in the Central Division with 13 points as well. The Preds have one more game to go after this Vancouver stop on this 5-game Get Your Shit Together road trip Wednesday at Seattle before coming back home to face off against the buzzsaw known as the Winnipeg Jets. Then back on the road for the 25th of November at the New Jersey Devils, back home on the 27th versus the Philadelphia Flyers, and also add the 29th of November to that versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. Season series, first up 3 games versus this Vancouver Canucks team between the Predators. Then it's the January the 3rd when the Preds will be in Vancouver for the second and final time this season. The Preds will host Vancouver on January the 29th, and then these two teams will be done playing unless they end up in a first-round playoff series like they did last year when the Vancouver Canucks won that series in 6 games. The Canucks so far this season, if you haven't checked in on them lately, 8-4-3 to begin the season with 19 points. That's 4th best in the Pacific Division. On home ice, not that impressive. 2-3-3, 47 goals for, 49 goals against, goal differential of -2 in their most recent stretch of 5. And make a note of this, they are playing on Saturday night leading into Sunday's game against the Nashville Predators, so they have Chicago at home later tonight, but their previous 5, because I would like to talk about that. On the 5th of November, 5-1 win at Anaheim, then on the 7th, a 4-2 win at LA. On the 9th of November, a 7-3 loss versus the Edmonton Oilers. On the 12th of November, a 3-1 win versus Calgary, and most recently their final result, a 5-2 loss versus the New York Islanders. So you see 3-2 in the last 5 with Chicago coming up on Saturday night. So hopefully the Vancouver Canucks will have a very knockdown, drag-out affair against the Islanders before the Predators come in on Sunday. Take a look at these two teams and their matchups. And quick notation, Tommy Novak is still listed as day-to-day for the Nashville Predators, not anticipated to be back in this game, but reportedly he on the mend. Goals for the Predators, highly disappointing, extremely disappointing. I cannot be more disappointed with this number as we head towards the quarter mark of the season schedule. The Predators are dead last in the NHL in scoring per game, 2.28 goals per game. That's 32nd overall in the league, and it is pathetic. You've added Steven Stamkos, you have added Jonathan Marchessault to Gus Nyquist, Philip Forsberg, Ryan O'Reilly, and you are getting absolutely nothing done on the offensive side of things. For the Vancouver Canucks, 3.13 goals per game is 16th best in the NHL. The goals against category, Vancouver's 20th at 3.20. The Preds are 3.22, and that is 21st. So pretty even on that particular metric. Shots for the Predators are 11th overall in the NHL at 30.4. The Vancouver Canucks are generating only 27.9 shots on goal per game. That is 20th in the league. But the Preds have fallen really far down in the shots against category as of late. 29.8 is down to 23rd. The Vancouver Canucks, 27.7 shots against, is 9th best in the NHL. One of only 2 top 10 metrics that the Vancouver Canucks have in the statistical category. So only in the top third of the league in 2 different things. The second one's coming up. Power play for the Predators ahead of Vancouver, 20.7% conversion rate, 12th best. 12 conversions, 58 opportunities. The Vancouver Canucks, 20% even. That's 15th best in the NHL. 9 conversions out of 45 opportunities. Now, the other top 10 metric I mentioned for the Vancouver Canucks is right here in the penalty kill. 83.3% is 9th best in the NHL. They've given up just 9 power play goals against, and that seems quite good until you look at the Nashville Predators side of things. 92.1% is the Predators kill rate, so 9% higher. best overall in the NHL, first, and 5 power play goals against on the season, is also first overall in the National Hockey League. So the Predators' penalty kill unit continues to excel. For a team in last place, for a team near the bottom of the entirety of the NHL, the penalty kill unit is the best in the league and performing at an excellent level. And they need to, or else the Predators will be getting blown out of these games. The Predators take too many damn penalties. When it comes to individual scoring leaders for each of these teams, let's talk about the home team, Vancouver Canucks, first. I think Quinn Hughes leading the way from out of the blue line. 3 goals, 13 assists, 16 points. Easily one of the best players in the entire NHL that never gets the recognition or the conversation that he deserves. And I guess it's because he plays in Vancouver, out of sight, out of mind for the East Coast media. So they just don't talk about Quinn Hughes enough. Miller's got 5 goals and 9 assists for 14 points. Bossler's at 6 and 5 for 11. Garland's 4 goals and 7 assists for 11. And Pettersson 4 and 5 for 9. On the Predator side of things, Philip Forsberg and the Nashville Predators haven't moved in the offensive categories very much lately. So very stagnant right here. The numbers going to sound real familiar to you. Philip Forsberg still leads the team in scoring with 8 goals and 5 assists for 13 total points, but now 18 games played for the Predators. So Philip Forsberg, who was at a point per game through about the first 12 games of the season, has now fallen quite far behind at 13 points in 18 games. And that's going to be a hard pace to catch up if Forsberg is capable of putting them in bunches and batching points. So we'll see how that works out. The captain, Roman Josi, also has not moved. 1 and 11 for 12. O'Reilly 3 and 7 for 10. Marchessault 3 and 6 for 9 points. Gus Nyquist 5 goals, 3 assists for 8 points. My nose is itchy. I can't explain it. Maybe it's the dry air, the cold air. I don't know what it is. My nose is itchy. So for the goaltending matchup for this game, UC Saros should get the start for the Predators. And catch this, the win-loss record versus the rest of the numbers. I'll explain what it means. 4-8-2 is the record. 2.52 goals against, 9.15 save percentage, 2 shutouts. Does it sound like 4-8-2 is the record of a goaltender that has a 9.15 save percentage with 2 shutouts and a 2.52 goals against average? It doesn't. That's because UC Saros is actually playing extremely good hockey, while the team in front of him is playing extremely poor hockey with the worst rated offense in the entire league. 9.15 save percentage, 2.52 with 2 shutouts. That's really strong numbers considering the garbage performance UC Saros put up in his first handful of starts in October. Lankinen, we all remember Lankinen. Wish he was still the backup of the Nashville Predators. He's 8-2 for Vancouver. That's a hell of a start to the season as a starter. 2.60 goals against, a 907 save percentage, and he also has 1 shutout on the season. Certainly liked Lankinen a lot better than I like Wedgwood in net as the backup goaltender for the Nashville Predators. So hopefully this doesn't come back to bite them in another way, because Wedgwood is certainly already bit the Predators in a couple of different ways. That's going to do it for the preview session of this show. Let's go back to the Rebirth Sports full game recap. Let's go back to Calgary. Let's find out what happened between the Preds and the Flames, and we'll break it down. We'll do some analysis, box score, and we've got a doozy of a Spartans update coming for you later in the show. The Great Lakes Division has given birth to a brand new national rivalry in the USPHL, and it is otherworldly, the statistics on the penalty side of things that are coming out of the Toledo Cherokee versus Red River Spartans series the last 2 seasons. I got an update coming for you a little bit later just to divert a little bit away from this. All right, coming up next, Renegades of Puck Podcast.